Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. The Idaho State Police, who were heavily involved in the investigation into the crimes at 1122 King Road, recently released more than 2,300 pages of documentation to the public from their investigatory files. One document that was released, dated December 5th, 2022, listed Brian C. Kohberger as one of a number of suspects identified on or before that date relative to the crimes at 1122 King Road. This was, in my opinion, a startling revelation because until that time, the public understood that it was not until the evening of December 19th, 2022, based on under oath testimony provided by Detective Brett Payne, the lead detective in the case, the author of the affidavit of probable cause, dated December 29th, 2022, which asked for and received the issuance of a warrant for Mr. Kohberger's arrest. According to Detective Payne, under oath, under penalty of perjury, Mr. Kohberger's name did not come up on, apparently, the law enforcement agency's radar until the 19th of December 2022, specifically in the evening at what he described as Teams meeting. In addition to learning that Mr. Kohberger was apparently a suspect much earlier during the investigation that the public was previously told, in taking this information that Mr. Kohberger's name was identified on this list, dated December 5th, 2022, with a prior report that was disseminated in a prior document drop by the Idaho State Police, the rhetorical question must be asked: why wasn't Mr. Kohberger surveyed as suspect number one, an age 21-year-old male was, at about this time? We previously provided a presentation on this report dated December 5th, 2022, heavily redacted as it is, but it told us, the public, that the Idaho State Police actually conducted surveillance for several hours, commencing approximately 11:55 p.m. on December 3rd, 2022, and then continuing on into the morning hours of December 4th, 2022. Suspect 1 is identified here as being apparently a resident of Ada County, Idaho. A white male, 21 years of age, not of Hispanic origin, whose residence apparently was at a home in Boise, Idaho. At this same time that ISP was conducting this surveillance of suspect number one, this 21-year-old white male, not of Hispanic origin, Mr. Kohberger was still in the area. Specifically, and according to the affidavit of probable cause, it was not until mid-December that Mr. Kohberger left his on-campus apartment located the Washington State University in Pullman, where he was attending class his first semester in pursuit of his PhD, and also working as a graduate teaching assistant. Mr. Kohberger was listed on that document from the Idaho State Police dated December 5th, 2022, at about the same time that suspect number one was being or had just been surveyed The question becomes rhetorical question, speculation, complete opinion, commentary. Suspect 1 was never arrested. It was Mr. Kohberger who was arrested later that month, on December 30th, 2022. Why was he such an important suspect? Apparently, according to the ISP, that he merited surveillance over the course of December 3rd going into December 4th, but Mr. Kohberger was not. Why wasn't surveillance conducted on Mr. Kohberger? Coming and going from his apartment, going to class, coming in and out of buildings. It would have been very easy for the ISP, in my opinion, to conduct surveillance on Mr. Kohberger, to measure it with what they did to suspect number 1. And as an attenuant issue, Mr. Kohberger, again, was the only person ever identified as a suspect in this case who was ever prosecuted by the state of Idaho in connection with the catastrophic events that happened at 1122 King Road. If you have had an opportunity to review recent documentation unsealed to the public that gave a description, according to the prosecutor, of the injuries that those 4 young people sustained, and compare it to the very short timeline that the state of Idaho asserts these crimes occurred in, a second rhetorical question comes up of how possibly could one person have done all of the things that are described in that document recently released to the public within this very short time frame. The window is sometime after 4:07 a.m. on the 13th of November, because that's the last time that suspect vehicle 1 is caught on camera at the house that used to be next door before 1122 was razed at 4:07 a.m. Last time that car was seen. That is purportedly Mr. Kohberger's car, is what the state of Idaho has argued. It then is seen again at approximately 4:20 a.m. by that same camera at 1112 King. Seen speeding out of the neighborhood at a high rate of speed is how it was described. These are rhetorical questions, comments, opinions that we give pursuant to the First Amendment United States Constitution. If you have any thoughts, any opinions, any comments that you would like to leave, please do so here. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you very much for joining us here today.